Hello everyone, my name's Kaylee and I am a training assistant here at Horse World in Bristol. And my job here is to assess the horses after they've come in and gone through their rehabilitation in the husbandry aspect. Once they're ready for work or to be rehomed, then I will assess them and see whether they're going to be candidates for the ridden side of work or whether they're going to be candidates for the rehoming companion side of work. One other factor of my job, which is really important here, is that I train the horses to become therapy horses for our fantastic discovery course. And today is what you'll be seeing me doing in some of these videos. The first one was with Mowgli, our resident mule. He is training to become a therapy horse for our discovery team, and he is the most amazing character. And very challenging and rewarding animal that I've worked with. Has taught me a lot as well as I've taught him. So today you'll see in the video me introducing him to rubbish bins and wheelie bins. Now this is something that we're doing because there's lots of them around the yard, but also he's just started his hacking out in the big world, out on the roads, away from the farm. So it's really important that we let him see these kind of things that he will be seeing out on the roads, so that he has chance to learn that they're not going to be dangerous or scary for him, and that he can act appropriately and display any natural behaviour that he'd want to before we end up on the roads next to big double-deck buses. So in the video that you're going to be watching soon, I am riding Mowgli. He's ridden in a treeless saddle and he has been ridden now since the last lockdown. And we've had to take his ridden work very slowly because we didn't want to put too much strain on the NHS just in case anything happened. But luckily Mowgli has taken to it like a duck to water and he's become a really strong, confident hacking horse. So because we were going to start taking him out on the roads and because he's going to be trained to be a therapy horse for discovery, we've started introducing him to the wheelbarrows and the dustbins, and you'll see in the video that we approach them with caution, and you can see through his expression and the way his ears are listening to me and the object in front of him, that he really does concentrate on what they are and whether they're going to be some sort of threat or not. And his natural instinct is to really think about what it is in front of him, as opposed to a horse that naturally will get scared and flee. He will have a second to think about it. Now, although the instinct to run is in him, he does tend to be a bit more sensible, and he will have a really long, hard think about it first and stand there and assess the situation, which is always helpful. But as you can see in the video, we do look at them. We use Jodie, who is my colleague here at Horse World, and she will offer him support from the ground. So although he's still learning to take reassurance from me as a rider, he still sometimes does need that extra support from someone at his head. So we'll take that opportunity to get him as comfortable as possible, and you'll see that she'll come up throughout the video and give him a rub on the neck and just offer her support from that angle. And he does go past them. He's very inquisitive. He will listen, but he does tend to stand back and assess the situation, like I said, instead of going all guns blazing. But you can see that he is quite worried at the bins at times, and I do have to offer support from above. And we will get him to try and keep moving as much as we can. So every time he relaxes and is confident, we'll then move away from the object to allow him to breathe and regain his confidence to come back. And that's what you'll see us doing, approaching the object, taking a minute to think about it, and then move away when he's quiet and calm. So one of the techniques that we use when we're introducing a horse or a donkey or a mule to a new object that could be quite scary is we allow them to follow the object. So we move the object away from them and encourage the animal to chase it, if you like. Now this gives them confidence because it's moving away from them, and it allows them to be inquisitive and kind of think about what that object is. So obviously, if something was coming towards them, it would be a lot scarier, because not only have they got to kind of think, what is that object coming towards me? It then kicks that natural instinct of, it's a little bit scary, so let's leg it. So that's a great way to build up an animal's confidence, is to chase something around. And it's something we do here all the time. If I know the animal has never seen a tractor or a Kubota or any sort of traffic, and I see one coming up the yard, I'll get behind it and I'll follow it around the yard. And then when that vehicle is stopped, they're more likely to kind of be confident enough to kind of investigate and touch it with their own nose. So although in the video you'll see me riding Mowgli today, this isn't the first time I've introduced him to scary objects. It is the first time he's seen the big bins, but if I was introducing him to something that I didn't know how he'd react, I wouldn't necessarily be doing it under saddle. I would be on the floor at his head with a dually halter on and a nice long line and a pair of gloves. So today we did it under saddle because he's at the stage where he can be pushed that little bit harder and not need as much reassurance. But as you can see from the video, there were times where I had to get Jody to come in and just offer that support from the ground, which is what he would have got if I did it without being ridden. So if you are going to be introducing your animals to new scary objects, then please do remember to follow the first couple of safety advice that we give, which is to make sure that you're in an environment which is enclosed and safe. If something did happen and the horse was to run off, that he couldn't get out onto the roads or cause any disruption. Obviously, health and safety, wearing our hats and maybe gloves with long lines if possible, and just have support on the ground as well. Don't ever do these kind of things without people there to help you.